Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. So, last time, I got much of the hair into place here. And I'm just gonna keep doing that more or less. But before I go back into hair, I was noticing that I wasn't entirely happy with how her jaw is over by her eyes here. I guess her cheeks. So I was gonna fix that up first. So yesterday was Christmas. And as you might imagine, I got Christmas presents and stuff from family. So I now have a very comfortable new chair to be sitting in and some headphones that actually work. It's very nice to be able to hear things in both ears again. So that does mean I may have to kind of figure out where things are with my chair and how I'm gonna, if I need to adjust my webcam at all. I only ended up finishing putting it together like 5 minutes before stream started, so I haven't had a chance to test all that yet. So we'll see what happens today. Unfortunately, I don't think I look too terrible. My eyes always go a little bit wide whenever I look at my model in OBS, so that's normal. But I'll be running some tests today to figure out how the comfy new chair works out with all that, because it does have me sitting a little bit higher than my last chair did. I think I kind of prefer it this way, though. Because I am very short, and my last chair kind of had me having to look upwards at my screen, whereas here I feel like I can just look straight on. So, I approve. And of course, being able to hear things in both ears is very nice. Well, hello there, Tengai! Nice to see you again. How are you doing today? Oh. That, sounds pretty good. I remember watching Avatar during its initial release. I never did see the ending. A lot of stuff was going on when it was airing at the time. But I did enjoy the series up to that point, so maybe I should go back and watch it sometime. It's like I have kids now, and I think one of them is starting to reach the age where she might actually start understanding it, so... I'm not sure she has the attention span to watch a show with an actual story yet, though. But it's great that you're practicing drawing. Fan art is a great way to do it. I mean, after all, this rig that I'm practicing with is also fan art. I'm using official art from the game, but it is art from a game, so here we are. Face still not doing quite what I want it to do. Let's see here. Where exactly should the bottom of her cheeks be going here? Right around there does seem at least relatively accurate. Let me put the shadows back on. Maybe that'll help me see where her cheeks kind of are here. So let's see, I have this one kind of defined right over here. And I have her chin kind of pointing downwards. This one should, in theory, be a little bit lower. Not much, but a little bit. Also kind of makes me think that... No, I have her eyes in the right place, I think. I just got confused due to the angle of the eyelid here. But I think that's fine. I personally always struggle with getting the jaw lines and characters right. Tend to have to draw them a couple of times before I'm happy. I am not surprised that rigging is working out to be about the same in that regard. I don't know, it still doesn't look quite right. It's like, if it doesn't look quite right as a still, I imagine it won't look quite right in motion either. But I'm still trying to work out the right spot for all of this. Let's see here. Gotta move both layers at once here, feeling ambitious. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better. Kind of make her cheek a little bit more prominent there, pushing the side of her head. Yeah, I think that worked. Now I think it's the opposite problem, where down near her chin, the cheek is a little bit too prominent. She does not have super squishy cheeks. She is not a moe blob. So I want to bring this part of her jaw a little bit to, oops, make her cheeks a little bit less squishy. Yeah, something like that. Yep, definitely gonna have to get used to the new chair. It's okay, I expected that. Anytime anything about my setup changes, I always need a little bit of time to get used to it. Okay. On the bright side, the chair is super comfy. So, I like it a lot. And I gotta say, it's so nice being able to hear out of both my ears again. For the past, like, probably a month or so, the sound in one of the ears on my headphones went out. So I've only been hearing in one ear for that whole time. Now I have new ones and I'm very happy. Okay, I do think that looks better. Let's go mirror that over here. So let's scroll down to the head. Yeah, that still looks pretty good. Let's go turn this back on. And I will copy this over to that. There we go. And I think I will adjust the head shadows just a little bit more here. I want to make them kind of thin on the outer end here. I think they're a little bit too thick. And I think I need to stretch them out a little bit so this way the transition from light to dark here is a little bit softer. And this particular art style uses very, very soft shadows. I remember cutting it out and I just used more airbrush than I ever had in my life. But I think it's very pretty. Okay, hold on. looks okay, but there's a little bit of a distortion and crunchiness in her jaw here, and I don't want that to be there. So I will be bringing it on out. Just smoothing out that line there. This way it looks nice. I gotta say, with my kids getting older, Christmas is so much more fun than it has ever been. Oh, my kid just got so excited. The younger one was jumping up and down and like flapping his arms. It was so cute. And one of the toys that he got was a little toy robot that has a remote control so you can move it around and stuff. And when you leave them idle, they'll just kind of start talking. And one of the things that it'll say is it'll be like, won't you come play with me? And he was just like, okay! And started playing with them again. And another one of their lines is asking for their name. And so he just very enthusiastically told the little plastic robot his name. It was absolutely adorable. Little kids are so cute. And I think there's something special when it's your kids. So yes, my Christmas was very good. I had a good time. And I posted the picture that I drew for my dad in the community tab. So you can go take a look at that. If you're interested. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I had a really good time with doing all the lighting and making all that work. Drawing all the flowers is a bit of a pain. I complained about that while I was working on it. But the lighting, and especially all the kind of after effects I did at the end to make the lighting really glow. That was a good time. Thank you. Yeah, there's lots of little things there. I have found that I've liked to do just normal shading first, where I just shade as though it's in normal white light, and then afterwards I add some interesting mood and atmosphere shadows, and it has adds a lot of different layers of colors and stuff that I think looks cool. It makes it nice and easy, because it means when I do the initial shading, I generally only need 2 colors for the shadows, and then maybe a color for the highlights, and then everything else can just come later from various layer modes and whatnot. Oh shoot, I am working on the head, not the head shadows. Okay. So I've had some pretty good luck with that. And I'm gonna keep doing it anytime that I do, I don't know, proper drawing like that as opposed to something more simplified. Turn the headline back on. And how does that look when I am not at 700%? I don't know, that edge still looks a little bit rough. I think it's mostly the shadows and not the head shape itself, although it might be the head shape itself. But if I'm having a problem with the shadows, then I should do that first. I'm a little surprised that it's having that many issues there. Let me see. Yeah, I definitely feel like this part right here is not nice and smooth. So I'll want to fix that, but I want to get the shadows here first. Because they are bothering me more, so I'm going to go ahead and do them first. I think I could do this in either order, so I might as well do the spot that I like less. That tends to be my art method, just look at the picture and see which part bothers me the most. And then I go fix that, and do that enough times and I generally have a pretty okay picture. It's just some free music on YouTube. I can post a link to their channel. Give me just a moment to find it again. Hopefully I don't start some music here. Okay, good. But yes, this is the place I get it from. I greatly fear being copyright struck, so I just try to find some stuff that is free to use. Yeah, no problem. They have a bunch of other stuff too, so I just put together a playlist of one of their piano albums. Because I wanted a nice, kind of soft and gentle atmosphere for my stream. And I greatly appreciate their existence. I'm glad that there's resources like this out there. So that this way people like me who have no idea how to compose music can still have some nice background music for streams and videos. Okay, let's see if that's looking a little bit smoother. Sometimes I have a little bit of trouble telling until I copy the line over, but... Let me see here. It's like they use the same mesh, so whatever is looking off in the... Or maybe they don't. Oh no, that's the head shadows, that's why. Whatever is looking off in the headline is probably a little bit off in the head, so I should go fix that. And I'll just turn it on and off until I'm happy. Okay, that should be fine. And there we go. Okay. I think that's head fixed. So let's get back to the hair. So once again, I'm just kind of going through and looking at the things that bothered me the most. And over here, I just noticed that this was not connecting properly to where the front bang goes. So there was just this random divot in her hair and it looked weird. That's okay. That's why I check these things and I go back and fix it. Well, I'm glad it looks easy because I certainly don't feel that way. But, yeah, I think I've been working with this program for maybe about a year or so. My personal model over here in the corner is the first full body model I made. And before then, it was just putting together some practice stuff to learn the program. So I'm just kind of feeling my way through things. So I consider myself a relative beginner. I've just been drawing for a very long time, so I at least have some understanding of how things should move around. I did. My avatar is... I drew it and rigged it myself. And what I'm making now is just something I'm putting together for fun. It's all good. Unfortunately, I do not speak French. Yes, I agree. I think it would be very difficult to rig without knowing how to draw first. And just because so many of the things that you have to know in order to make it move convincingly also is knowledge that overlaps heavily with rigging. It's all good. The language barrier is always hard. It's okay, I have a very international audience and it's been fun to see. I've had people come in speaking Indonesian, Russian, and I think I might have had a Spanish guy. Spanish is the only language that I speak with any relative fluency. But, I am in the process of trying to learn Japanese again, so that this way I can talk to people on Pixiv, so... But yeah, I think it's cool to see all the languages that people speak. I don't speak them myself, so unfortunately I cannot talk in all those other languages, but... I think it's cool. Thank you. I have always liked learning languages. I know a few very surface level, enough that I can generally recognize the language when it's being spoken, as in I know which language is being spoken or typed or what have you, but not enough that I can actually understand, for the most part. But I think looking at languages can tell you a lot about the culture the language comes from. Just the way people think. the words that they think are important, and the priorities that they have within their grammar. Just a small example of that is in a lot of East Asian languages. They don't have a word for just, like, a sibling, for just sister or just brother. They only have older brother, older sister, younger sister. And so when you have twins, one of them has to be the older sister and one of them has to be the younger sister, even though they are the same age. They were born at the same time. And such things I always found kind of interesting. It is. It's hard, but it's very interesting, I think. I like languages. So, are you in the process of trying to learn English then? Alright. Good luck. English is a weird language, or as a lot of English speakers like to say, it's 3 languages in a trench coat. Pretending to be one. It's a good one to learn. That's one that you'll be able to talk to a lot of people with. Alright. So here I'm kind of focusing in on the area around her face. And really trying to make sure that everything is in the right place there. Because the areas around her face, I think, are always the most important. Those are the places that people look the most. So somebody actually used this model for something, and I imagine most people would be looking at the face, like right around here. So I always try to make sure that the stuff within this big area is all very nice. Thank you. I've been working on it for a long time. There's a lot of little things to pay attention to. It's one thing that I've learned about animation since doing a little bit of it with this, is that a lot of the things that make animation look good are just little unconscious things that nobody would really be able to point out, but when it's not there, you can tell. And when it is there, everything just looks a little bit better. So it's a little bit hard to describe, but there are things where you just kind of feel it. And when they're added, the quality goes up. So I've been trying to think of how I was going to do a few of those things. A lot of it's going to come down to how I do the physics. Really, really looking forward to putting physics on this hair. That's going to be a good time. Her hair is just so nice. I like working with it. There's just also a lot of it, so it takes a while to do anything. And that's why it's taken me several months just to do the head turns. But that's okay. I'm getting there. These are pretty much the last ones I have to do. I have the other ones pretty much all done. I do want to revisit my upward turns, but yep. I am almost there. And then, yeah, and then I want to do one where she kind of, you know, tilts her head to the sides. And I've already done what I plan to do for her mouth and eyes. We got blinks. So I've already done pretty much all of that. So the head turns was just the last little thing here. Oh. And then of course there's going to be body turns and various things like that. We'll see how ambitious I feel with the body since I've spent so long on the head. But basically there's still quite a lot to do. Alright, have a nice meal, and have a nice day. Thank you. Okay. I'm back to being a little bit unsatisfied with how the eyelid moves here. I'll have to line that up. Yeah, I think I can afford to do that after I finish lining up the hair. I'll just line up all the features together. Let's do that all at the very end. Okay. So I think that this is all okay. I just need to make it look nice. I might try to tuck this a little bit further back, the side bit here. Kinda, let's see here. I think I want to push over here a little bit further back here. And I just want this to be rounded out a little bit more, but I want it to look like it's falling down. Like it's affected by gravity. We can still let it swoosh out a little bit, though. Just because, well, this is floofy anime hair. I can do what I want. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Okay. Now then, how do I feel about this strand? That was one that I worked on for a little while the other day. It's not too bad. Let's see here. There is something about it that's a little bit off, though. So let's see if I can find that and fix that. I have some ideas. I'm still not really worried about cleaning this up yet. That's gonna happen later. But I do need to get this shaped right. And for that, that takes a little bit more of a gentle touch. So it might look like I'm cleaning it up now, but I'm not quite at that point. These areas just happen to coincide a little bit here. So, boy, is this strand always a little bit tricky. I'm not sure if I meshed this in the most optimal way. I don't plan on fixing it, but is something that I will be remembering for my future self. For future rigs that I decide to go do. I think I'm on the right track, but I'm not in love with it yet. Okay. Gotta try some more things. So I think the next thing I want to try is I want to try to change the angle on this shadow here. It kind of follows the top of the hair and then goes off. So I think if I angle it downward a little bit more, that might help. Assuming I can. But yes, I just want to push the very tip of that shadow just ever so slightly downward. We'll see if that's possible later. I might have to compromise the angle there somewhat, but... Okay, that's a little bit too much angle anyway. So I'll be spared for this wrinkly area later. Bring it back up just a little bit here. There we go. Okay, yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Now I can just adjust the kind of outer edge here, since I did move that around quite a bit. Once again, we're gonna leave it a little bit crunchy for the time being while I get all the hair into place. And then we'll go make it pretty in the end. This is currently just my sketch. The rigging equivalent of a sketch. And because our head is turning down here, this strand is going to be a little bit thicker at the top. We see a little bit more of it. And I'm zooming out most of the way because I want to make sure that her chin is also in the picture. The chin is kind of what I'm using to gauge how far up and down things should be moving. Because everything needs to move relative to everything else, otherwise it'll look wrong. And here I'm going to space these vertices out a little bit more and push this highlight a little bit further down. I don't mind if the highlights move around a bit. I actually often think that they look a little bit better when they do. But there is a limit to how much I want them to move around. And even then, I do have to pay attention to the location that they move. Otherwise, things look weird. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Just trying to take my time here. It's nice being able to take my time sometimes. I feel like a lot of the problems that I've had with this rig is just because I was rushing a little bit more than I should, so trying to chill out. And right now I'm trying to match things along the diagonal because I want to compare this lower left turn with the default, where I have not moved anything at all. Whereas if I were to compare it to either this one or this one, the bottom or the right, that would involve comparing it to stuff that I have moved around. And if I had anything wrong there, then that would make the lower right look a bit weird. This is the method I used for the lower left, and I have found it more effective than the methods I was using for the upward head turns. And that's why I want to redo the upward head turns. So I'm going to try this again and see how it works out. But honestly, I feel like this head turn is coming together pretty quickly. I think the only reason it's taken this long is because I had some stuff I wanted to fix around her face. In her eyes and whatnot. But the hair is just working. Feels good. I like it when things just work. It's a great feeling. Don't need to do all the struggle. It just works. Okay, so when I'm looking at this strand here, I just felt like there's like a little highlight, little texture right through there, and I felt like it was a little bit too high. So I've just been sliding that down. I still think it's a little bit too high, honestly. So I'll just keep sliding it on down. Well, welcome back and good afternoon indeed. I do hope you have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you. Alright, let's just slide those little highlights right on down. See if I can get that all to line up. Not quite yet. Okay, now it looks like it might be sliding down too much, but more than that, I think it's also floofing out to the right a little bit too much. So we'll go ahead and bring all this back a little. Maybe something like that. Okay, that's looking a bit better. I think some of it is just that I'm gonna have to realign some things with these other angles as well. And that just tends to be how all this goes. The more angles I do, the more stuff I have to align. This strand still not cooperating with me. Let's see here. I'm gonna take a nice close look at what I didn't like about the movement of this one. Okay. There's like just lots of tiny little colors in there. If you look closely, you've got this blotch here, this one here, this one over here, the highlight, the shadow, then this kind of shadow right here, and this highlight on top, and there's just lots of little colors in there that I all need to line the whole thing up. Pretty much all of her hair is built like that, where there's just lots of little colors everywhere. And sometimes there's just one little piece that doesn't look the way I want it, and it makes everything look strange. And so I just have to find that and correct it. I think I'm approaching the end here, and soon I will be able to start lining things up and cleaning it up. And that'll be nice. Might still have a little bit more work to do on the side bang there, but... And a little bit right over here. But otherwise... Yeah, I think that side is looking pretty alright. Okay. So most of what I want to fix is just right around here still. Kind of near the roots of her hair. But if I'm being honest, I'm having trouble picking out the spots that aren't working for me. I can tell that there's a few spots where something's off. But sometimes it's a little bit hard to tell exactly what's off. I might need to revisit it with a fresh brain. That's okay, there's some more easier spots that I can grab for today. Like right over here is not quite working for me. That little spot right here is just bulging out a little bit too much. And that dark spot that's like almost black is a little bit too high up. So that there, nice and easy to fix. So I guess for a while, since I'm not quite sure what's wrong with the right side, I'll go ahead and look at the left side and see what I can figure out over there too. I do think most of the left side is looking pretty okay. Just a few things I want to fix up here and there. So part of it was, I felt like this kind of purple part was getting almost like stuck. Like it wasn't moving down enough. So I moved it down quite a bit there, but it still kind of looks like it's getting stuck. I'm gonna hide the strand here. No, not that one. Where is the strand? There's main. That one. There we go. Okay. And I think I actually do want to hide that as well. I'll go ahead and add those back at the end. Once I have everything else lined up. It's just going to be harder to get everything lined up with that stuff moving incorrectly out of the corner of my eye. So I will start without it there. And then at the very end, I'll go back and put it back in. Once I know that I have everything else right, and I know exactly where those strands need to live. Okay, I still feel like the hair up here is still getting almost stuck. Like that's how it looks to me, because some parts aren't moving down as far as other parts are. So it just looks like it's just getting caught on something. So I'll go ahead and we're gonna go with the nuclear option. We're really just gonna push things down. There we go. I actually do think that that area was bothering me a little bit more than what I was seeing in the side bang, even though I consider the side bang a little bit more prominent and important. But now that is moving much better in my opinion. There's still this little black line right there that isn't moving the way that I want, but everything else I think looks pretty good. So I think I have fixed all my problems there. I didn't have to worry about this side so much when I was doing the lower left, because, I mean, if you look at the lower left, it just gets covered up, almost completely. So, looks like I'll have to do some lining up with it in the downward turn here, but that's fine. I think that looks pretty good. Alright, let's take a look at the side bang here. Let's see what I got here. Because the part that I wasn't entirely happy with was the highlight here. So let's see. Yeah, it still feels like it's getting a little bit stuck. That is the best way I can describe when I am not moving something far down enough. It just looks like it's getting caught on something where everything else keeps moving down, but that one just stops. So it just reminds me of, you know, hair getting caught on something, like when my hair gets caught on my glasses or the like. Just gets stuck. And there I realized that at that point it looked like it was going too far down, so it told me that I probably had this little strand coming off here going too far down as well. Yes, indeed. And it is also going a bit too far to the left, so I need to bring it back to the right. Just wanted to make it way rounder than it had any business being. So we gotta bring it back. Bring it on back in here. But otherwise, I think the tips of the bangs are looking pretty good. And everything else seems alright. I think this part might be bulging a little bit, which kind of tells me that I need to bring that little strand that I've been working on even further to the left. Or to the right, yes. I know my directions. So yes, we're gonna bring it further to the right. I don't want to make her hair look swollen. It should not look like it's growing, just moving. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Now there's a point where it transitions from purple into white. And I think that's a little bit too low, so I just want to slide this up a little bit here. It wasn't that bad off, so I don't want to move it too much, but I do want to move it just a little bit there. Probably even a little bit more than that. I think that what I'm seeing now might be on the other layer. This area can be tricky because it's made up of 2 layers. And I'm never quite sure where one layer begins and one layer ends. I will have to ask my past self why I decided to cut it like this. It just seemed like a good idea at the time. Alright, and that all seems pretty good. So I'll take another look at this tomorrow, do any corrections that I want. Actually, there's one more that I want to do real quick before I stop. And this just needs to come down a little bit more. Okay. That was all. That's why I figured I could just do it real quick. Okay. But yeah, I'll take a look at all that. See if there's any corrections that I want to make. And if there's not, then I'm going to start lining it up with the 2 turns next to it. Getting there. Almost there. Almost. Yes. Yes. Okay. But I will end there for today. So, thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.